Hey guys, really quick update. It's day 4 of the BOOKTUBE-A-THON. I finished The Maze Runner. I really liked it. I'll probably do a more in-depth review at some point after this is all over. I really liked it. There were a few character things that could have been a little better, but other than that, and lack of girl characters, just the plot and all the things you didn't know really compelled me to keep reading. So that was almost done with City of Bones 2. So hopefully I'll be moving on to a new book tomorrow. Did the Reenact a Book Scene challenge. I did the Yoan scene from Return of the King from Lord of the Rings. And it was interesting. Begone, foul Drummerlake, leave the dead in peace.
Come not between the Nazgul and his prey, or he will not slay thee in thy turn. He will bear thee away to the houses of lamentation, beyond all darkness, where thy flesh shall be devoured, and thy shriveled mind be left naked to the lidless eye.
Do what you will, but I will hinder it if I may.
Hinder me, thou fool! No living man may hinder me.
But no living man am I. You look upon a woman. Yoan I am, Yoman's daughter. You stand between me and my lord and kin. Begone, if you be not deathless. For living or dead unmarked, I will smite you if you touch him. Ha! Today's challenge was to write a short story using the words from 3 titles of books. I actually wrote a scene from a story I started it a little while ago. So I used this opportunity to write this scene. This is really rough, just saying. So the 3 titles I used were City of Bones, Secret Life of Bees, and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, because those are the only 3 books I have with me. The story is about this girl named Reagan, and she is kind of a kleptomaniac, but specifically for historical artifacts she likes to steal from museums. She and her friend are really talented at sneaking around and disabling cameras, and I don't know exactly where the story is going, but I have these ideas for a few scenes, and this is one of them. So here goes. Reagan watched as her mother and sister scurried around like busy bees, scrubbing, straightening, and of course, rounding up all the unsightly things and hiding them in the basement. Like her 4th grade self-portrait of her riding a dragon and the sweater she was attempting to knit. Her father cautiously walked into the kitchen, straightening his tie, then plopped down next to her at the kitchen table and began reading the paper. "Reagan, get in here and help Jackie polish the silverware," came her mother's screeching voice. "If they didn't mention dinner, I doubt they'll be expecting to have any," Reagan called back, annoyed. She and Leah had had plans to go into the city tonight, all month, to scout out a new museum. But this morning some Secret Service guy had called Dad and they were coming over to discuss some mysterious business. Her mother, of course, insisted that they must all stay in tonight to show what a happy whole family they were. "Young lady, I do not appreciate your attitude. We cannot have guests and not—" Ding dong, ding dong, ding. Mrs. Crane's strangled gasp before it was quite possibly heard across town. "Jackie, take what you finished and bring it in here. Robert, put some crackers out at least, and throw the paper out. Reagan, take off that awful jacket, and for the love of God, please put up your hair. And remember, smiles, everyone." The latter was said in her sickly, fake-friendly tone to illustrate her point. Reagan groaned and slipped her hair into a ponytail, hiding her blue streaks, the disappointment to the family. She was tempted to throw her jacket on the dining room table, but thought better of it. She was already walking on thin ice with how often she broke curfew. Before she could blink, her mother had her and Jackie seated at the polished mahogany table. Jackie, as usual, was a picture-perfect daughter, with her 50s-esque dress and updo without a hair out of place. If her sister wasn't so perfect by comparison, maybe her parents wouldn't mind her little acts of rebellion, as they liked to call them. She tried to imagine her parents being like Leah's, open to the idea of tattoos, having an appreciation for punk rock, and openly communicating about problems instead of brushing them under the carpet. But she would never know. Her father walked in with 2 men in suits, looking more nervous than Reagan would have expected. At that moment her mother came bustling in with a tray of hastily thrown together appetizers. "Welcome to our home, gentlemen. Would either of you like—" One of them put his hand up to stop her. "Which girl's Reagan?" he asked Mr. Crane. Acknowledging her was the last thing she'd suspected. She cocked an eyebrow and half raised her hand. I am? The look her mother gave her would have shattered someone who wasn't used to it. Reagan wondered if it was a "what did you do" look, or if she'd earned it for speaking when not spoken to. Your daughter needs to come with us, Mr. Crane, said the other. I doubt you're aware, but she is responsible for the thievery of many priceless museum artifacts. The room went cold and silent. How could they possibly know? I've never triggered a single alarm and left no traces behind. Her parents simultaneously exploded. You have the nerve to invite yourself into my home and accuse my daughter of stealing? I want to see some evidence, and you will not be taking her anywhere. Reagan, her mother wailed, you never think, do you? What have you gotten yourself into this time? Do you ever even consider us or your father's career? Are you trying to ruin us? Quiet, the first shouted. We have the evidence in an order from someone so high up even the president wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Your daughter, whether you want to believe it or not, is one of the most skilled criminals in the world. You can either have her come with us, where we will put her abilities to good use, or we can have her arrested right now. I'd say it's your choice, but it isn't. You can pretend if it makes you feel better, though. Mr. Crane sputtered. Reagan, did you? She folded her arms and looked away. I plead the fifth. Self-incrimination is not an issue here, one of the Secret Service guys declared. We don't plan on turning you in. Whether you like it or not, your life as you knew it is over. If you would like to explain to your family, this is probably your last chance to do so. Reagan, if this is a mistake. Looking into her dad's eyes, it was very clear he still cared about his little girl. But she wasn't that little girl anymore, and he didn't know her at all. Yeah, it's true. I guess I'm a kleptomaniac or whatever. She took a breath. I just love the thrill and challenge of it all. There's all these historical objects sitting in glass boxes and no one appreciates them or what they mean. When I hold them in my hands, I can feel all the energy of the past, all of the people who have been brave and stood up for what is right, and all the memories. I wanted to own them. Her relief of finally describing this to someone other than Leo was short-lived. Mrs. Crane looked as if she might faint. Please tell me you aren't robbing graves and stealing bones to fuel the history, too. Reagan sighed. I knew you wouldn't get it. No, Reagan Addison, you don't understand. You are clearly mentally unsound and need help to get some sense into that head. What you have done to this family. You know what, Mom? I think I've heard enough. I'll go along with the nice gentleman now. Anything that was in store for her would be better than listening to her belittle her for another minute. There is no need to pack. Everything will be provided for you on the plane. He turned to face her bewildered family. Officially, Reagan will be recorded as training for the CIA because of her above-average intelligence. That is what you will tell the presses and anyone who asks. One of them clenched her arm in his fist and began leading her toward the front door. Wait, her dad called, starting to come after them. Reagan, honey, we all love you. Her eyes began to well up. I wish I could believe that, Dad, but you haven't known me for a long time. You love who you want me to be. And with that she left her home and her world behind. Maybe she should have resisted and questioned their motives and what she could possibly do to be useful to them. But in her fit of frustration and anger, she was just happy to get away. So yeah, if you have any constructive criticism for me, I'd appreciate it. Okay guys, that's it for my update. You'll probably hear from me in a day or two. Leave me links to any of BOOKTUBE-A-THON videos you did. Tell me about what you're reading in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!